Today we're working on a 2004 Honda Civic Coupe. We're replacing the door cards. Okay, so there's a lot of videos on how to take the doors apart. And just make sure that you take off the top portion here. There's also a screw on the back that's right in there that needs to be removed. And the reason you want to do that is you want to loosen this up in order to be able to slide the material under. I don't want to take it off because there's these welded rivets which aren't meant to be removed and shouldn't be removed. So these are the eBay cloth inserts that I bought. Kind of a cool little texture to them. So I'm going to try to see if we can install them. The trick is going to be to cut it so that it slides behind here. And then to pull this out enough so we can stuff it under. A big mistake I see people on the internet do, they won't leave enough material so that you can tuck this back in here and hide all your glue. The other thing is they get their glue out too far, so I'm going to tape up the edges right up to here so that we don't get our glue showing. Alright, so this was our first attempt. We kind of learned a few things as we went. One is you got to make sure that you have enough adhesive on. I don't really think you can have too much adhesive. So what you want to do is overlap the material about 1/4 inch at least. We started at this corner and then we worked our way out this way and then out that way. And then we tucked it in as we went. We also had, I just cut a split down here. We're not taking this off, so I just cut a split and then we dry fit everything prior to going. So we're gonna put it all on video for you, show you what all that looks like. But you just work your way around slowly, leave everything up until you get to where you want. If you took the screw off behind this, it gives you enough room to tuck the material under there, so that's nice. You don't really need to take this off, which is good because, like I said, it's welded under there. Just work your way around. Hopefully this one goes a little nicer. I'm spraying both sides of the cloth. There are some marks on here. Hopefully those won't be visible. Oh, look, there's a little spot there. Tuck that one under. So I'm basically using a putty knife to tuck it under. Just kind of work it under there as you go around. Okay, so the first step in this process is to dry fit and do some cutting to make it as close as possible. Do you have the putty knife? Okay, so this is how they come from the eBay site. They're cut out, but they're not really cut out to size. You can see we're leaving on the armrest here. It's, as I said, it's too hard to take off. You wouldn't want to take it off because then it makes it difficult to repair. So the first decision you have to do is figure out where to cut your cloth. Basically you want to cut it across here, probably over here on this side. So I'm going to try to cut it so that it's just above here so that I have enough to tuck in. It's better to err on having too much material, and I think that's what they did when they ordered it, or when you order it from the place and they cut it out to size. It's not really to size. You can see it overlaps quite a bit. Even if you cut out this piece, it wouldn't fit exactly right. So so have to make a line. I kind of cheated. I took the line from before, so and I've already done one of these, so I just transferred it over. So that line didn't work too bad for us. So you need about 1/4 inch here, and then at least I'd say 1/2 inch up on this side would be good. So let's see how well I did. That's pretty good. It's about right where it needs to be. So I'm going to err on this side of the line and just cut this way. Okay, so now we have enough material to there. I got to cut it farther up and around here. Try to maintain my 1/2 inch here, or 1/4 inch hanging over, and want to end up around in here. Alright, so that's getting us close, is this corner where it'll bunch up if you have too much material. Also, there's a fastener right here that you sort of need to cut around so you can tuck the material in. So this distance is somewhat critical here. So again, I'm going to try to maintain about 1/2 inch. I think I'm going to cut around here a little bit, maybe 1/4 inch down. The other thing to keep in mind is there's an armrest that goes all the way across here, and so you'll be able to hide a lot of material in there. So we're gonna start test fitting this, and we'll start tucking this corner in first. So you start with about 1/4 inch over, and then just tuck that material down. Try to leave yourself enough to tuck under there. Work your way a little bit on both sides, and then we'll try to tuck it under this little corner here. See how that starts looking. See if we can get rid of the bulge. See if we've cut enough off of that. So when you're tucking it into the sides, use more of a straight down motion. And when you're trying to slip it up under the armrest, you flatten out your blade a little bit more, and then you tuck it up under there like that. And sometimes it helps if your partner pulls back a little bit on the armrest to help you tuck it up under there. So keep in mind, this is just a dry fit at this point. So we have all the time we want. We're just making sure things are cut out pretty close. We did find a nice technique, which we'll demonstrate, where we go ahead and tuck.
Ideally, you don't want to stretch it too much because then it changes the way the pattern looks. But this is a DIY project. I'm not exactly professional yet. So you just start on, one edge, work yourself around. I really kind of got ahead of myself when I cut this in, but I wanted to work this edge out.
Okay, so this is after the dry fit. We worked all the edges around. That I'm going to leave, and I'll cut that off later. Basically, we learned a technique where we will cut it almost flush and then just tuck it all the way in with the putty knife. And that seems to work as it's wet. So, all right, let's go ahead and glue things up here.
Mark it.
Oh yeah, is right here where this cut is. So, right here where this is. So we're going to make sure we get that really good. So I'm going to try to hold it down. Okay. Yep. That's a nice mark. And I just pull a little more out to refresh the chalk. If you actually have a piece of chalk, that would be even better. I don't happen to have another piece of chalk. So we've kind of centered that up there, and then just work your way. So marked in a few places. It's not going to be perfect, but this is a good start. All right, next step is to put the adhesive on it, and I like to put the adhesive on both sides of it. Like I said, I don't know if there's a way to actually get too much adhesive in there. Any loose particles. It says this is 3M77 Super 77. I guess there are other ones. This was like 10 bucks on eBay. So quite a lot of spray adhesive. So you give it a good shake. And they say you should start applying it within 10 seconds, and then you have up to 10 minutes if you're doing one surface, or 20 minutes if you're doing two. It seemed like it's a pretty warm day today. It's probably like 65, close to 70. It seems like we had maybe 10 minutes at best. So 6. Yeah, so you wait until you put your knuckle against it, and it basically pulls pretty hard against your knuckle, but you don't get any on your hand. As was demonstrated, she got a little bit on her hand there, so probably need to wait a little bit longer. Honestly, I'm on a day like today, and with this material, there's probably not a whole lot of reason to wait. It's like I need to touch that up a little. I think what it does is it basically lets surfaces that don't breathe very well dry. And in our case, our material breathes very well, so I don't think we're going to have an issue with it drying. So yeah, we just get rid of these. Just get them out of our way. And then let's go ahead and get started here. The trick in first applying it is to not let anything hit that you don't want to adhere, which is not easy. So you want to line up your line and then do about a 1/4 inch overlap, and start with that outside edge. So move it. Don't pull that away too much because we got to get this thing down here. So line up your blue line. Do you see it? Mm-hmm. And then overlap a little bit more. Yeah, like a 1/4 inch or so. Okay. And then work your way over to the other blue line. Go back and get that one little spot. Yeah, so I think that's pretty good there. Once you get it tucked in, you can go ahead and pull it out. Oh, golly. Dang it.
What?
It's really adhering well. So we need to start working our way around. Keep tucking it. Yeah, that's fine. Oh. Here, let's get this corner first. Let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, I'll hold it out. Sometimes it helps if you pry out a little bit and then you lay your blade down a little flatter to tuck it in under those sides. How's your bubble there? You got a bubble?
No.
Okay. Go ahead and tuck that in. Here. Got the angle on that one. So since we had that screw off from behind the arm panel, we're able to tuck this in as we go. Alright, that's good. We got a good start. And we still want it to overlap. So I'm going to tuck that under there. Just sliding it under here. Yeah, the flat parts just seem to work themselves out if you get everything else correct. So I think we got all those tucked in pretty nicely. a little glue on there. We'll get that off. Scrape that off later. Or maybe now. It's a good time. Put it out in the sun to dry, along with the other one. Okay, so this is the final product. I think it looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Thanks for watching.